What is Scientology? Are you curious? It's okay to ask. It's okay to look. Just look for yourself. Many people have escaped and spoken out, and many books have been written, as well as documentaries like HBO's Going Clear, and TV shows like Leah Remini's Scientology and the Aftermath, and even Time magazine. In the past 2 years, many have joined the battle to expose Scientology on YouTube, with over 200 channels currently on offer. The information is out there. You just need to look for yourself.
Because damn, like you said, it's like, in what world was I writing down? When I was 16, I was put into the RPF, the so-called hole, with self-admitted PEDOs. And I was made to be the twin of a self-admitted PEDO. These people are allowed to say that they were confused and this is why they became, it's like, what is this? What in the hell was I doing in my formative years?
The list is an art project, a 75-foot scroll that details almost 200 children that were born into Scientology that have since escaped and spoken out, as well as those who have passed before their time. Scientology launched in 1953 as an expansion of the best-selling book Dianetics, The Modern Science of Mental Health, published by science fiction writer L. Ron Hubbard in 1950. What began as a self-help philosophy was soon converted to a religion to capitalize on the financial benefits that entailed. Scientology's tax exemption was revoked in 1967. Scientology fought back and Operation Snow White was launched, resulting in the largest infiltration of the government in U.S. history and the targeting of IRS agents personally, with lawsuits and other forms of harassment. In 1989, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that Scientology services constituted a quid pro quo agreement and were not eligible for income tax deductions in the Hernandez versus Commissioner case. In 1993, IRS Commissioner Fred Goldberg caved to the pressures of Scientology and reinstated their tax exemption, despite the 1989 Supreme Court decision and writing off $1 billion in outstanding taxes, while also providing Scientology with religious protections under the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution.
Because on October the 1st, 1993, at 8:37 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the IRS issued letters recognizing Scientology and every one of its organizations as fully tax-exempt. The war is over!
Child abuse. Children as young as 9 years old are pressured into signing a Sea Org contract, committing them to 1 billion years of servitude, lifetime after lifetime. The teachings of L. Ron Hubbard deny the very right of children to be children and claims they are reincarnated adults in little bodies, leading to acceptance and proliferation of all forms of child abuse, including sexual abuse.
For many years, I have understood that the sexual abuse of me was known and covered up by Scientology, but I didn't know the depths of it. I didn't know the details of how it was done. Now I understand that the cover-up was by design at all levels of the organization, from the bottom to the top.
It is a high crime in Scientology to report another Scientologist to law enforcement.
Any person who seeks to suppress Scientology or Scientologists by an action such as reporting it to civil authorities for criminal or fraudulent activities is committing a suppressive act.
Such action results in the parishioner being declared a suppressive person, and Scientology's disconnection policy is immediately implemented, meaning the loss of contact with all family and friends that remain in the organization. If the offender continues to speak out, Scientology will apply their fair game policy.
May be deprived of property or injured by any means by any Scientologist without any discipline of the Scientologist. May be tricked, sued, or lied to, or destroyed.
Due to the public relations backlash, Scientology claims that fair game was canceled in 1971. However, there are many cases that demonstrate this assertion to be false, and fair game policy remains in full force to this day. Hubbard's policy letters are deemed unalterable scriptures by Scientology, Many other religious groups have faced prosecution for cover-ups over the years, but this has mostly occurred as a result of a conspiracy of silence within those organizations. In the case of Scientology, these criminal activities form part of their Holy Scriptures, which is a direct contravention of the U.S. legal system. While Scientology invokes First Amendment protections resulting from their tax-exempt status, the religious protections of the First Amendment do not extend to protection from criminal prosecution. The Child Abuse and Neglecting Report Act, or CANRA, is the law in 48 states across the nation, including Florida and California. CANRA enforces a legal obligation on individuals and organizations working closely with children to mandatory reporting to civil authorities or face criminal prosecution. On February 25, 2025, a number of ex-Scientologists and their advocates attended the LAPD Commissioners meeting and provided statements that were entered into the record. The following is a compilation of excerpts from their statements.
My name is Jenna Miscavige. My uncle David Miscavige is the leader of Scientology. I was born and raised in Scientology. Just before my second birthday, my parents moved our family to Los Angeles to join Scientology's most dedicated group, where they signed 1 billion-year contracts, dedicating all of our souls, lifetime after lifetime, to Scientology. Joining this group meant I would never live in a home with my parents for the entirety of my childhood. It also meant being deprived of an education and being worked for long hours each day, digging trenches, hauling rocks, and being exposed to dangerous chemicals and handling asbestos, all before the age of 12 years old. The ones who suffer the most are the children of Scientology's parishioners and staff, because they cannot protect themselves and they don't know any different. I was one of those children, and there are so many others. I'm here today to make sure their voices are heard. This letter was copied to Scientology's Legal Affairs Office, Scientology's Chief Ethics Officer, as well as to the chaplain and the file of the alleged predator. Where was the mandatory reporting to the proper authorities?
I can tell you from personal experience of having been a Scientologist and a Sea Org member, it is 100% directly against Scientology policy
to ever report another Scientologist to the civil authorities at any time for any reason, including child rape. Reporting another Scientologist to the civil authorities gets you expelled from Scientology. Raping doesn't get you expelled. Reporting it does get you expelled. CANRA is the law of the land. This is the standard we are asking Scientology to be held to. It is the standard all the religions are held to. We ask that a grand jury be impaneled in LA to investigate cover-up of child sex crimes within Scientology.
Thank you for watching. However, we have barely scratched the surface. We would appreciate your help in getting this message to a wider audience. Please send a link to this video expressing your own thoughts to your elected officials in Congress. Also, if you live in a city with a Scientology presence, please consider sending this to local media outlets and law enforcement officials. The time has come to shine a spotlight on and investigate the crimes of Scientology.